bonus night at the Cow Pasture Festival, and we'll be going 6 rounds now with these super featherweights. Why don't we meet these two with Michael Buffer? Michael?
And now, ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 6 rounds and is in the super featherweight division. The referee is Mills Lane. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the blue trunks with gold trim. He weighs 128 3/4 pounds from Bell, California. His professional record is 12-4-1 with 6 KOs. Let's welcome Wilbert Vera. And his opponent fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the dark blue trunks with black trim. He weighs 129 pounds even from Napa, California. Undefeated as a professional with a record of 10-0, 6 KOs. Ladies and gentlemen, Jorge Parra.
Here we go. Here you go, son. Okay, we've already had all the instructions in the dressing room. Any questions over here? Any questions over here? Let's get it on. Come on.
Mills Lane, of course, the referee, always gives you great respect for Mrs. Lane, I'll tell you that, because she's got to wake up every morning and say, "Want me to put the coffee on?"
He says, "Let's get it on." Of course, naturally.
I was being kind. I wasn't going to get to that kind of humor. Parra and Vera.
I meant the coffee, of course.
I know.
Hey, I have a career in jeopardy here. Help me.
So Parra fighting out of Napa, California. With a 10-0 record, 6 knockouts. One of my favorite parts of the country, the Napa Valley.
It's beautiful up there, not far from your home turf. Parra, a good young prospect, a boxer they really feel can get somewhere.
Super featherweight division, we talked about this, and it seems like we talked ad nauseum about how good the light heavyweight division was, but here's another pretty strong division with a lot of talent in it.
Yeah, very good, and you get there, and these days you can make some pretty decent paydays, which hasn't always been the case. When Gary Salinger talked to us earlier today at the weigh-in, he said that they're working on the defense. And if they feel if they can improve the defense of Parra, that it will make him an infinitely better fighter, which of course he is with everybody. They say sometimes he just wants to bang a little bit and gets hit with punches like that.
It's right here at this stage of his career, I think, fighting fighters like he's fighting tonight at this distance, that you don't want to get into bad habits, because when you do take that next step up, you got problems.
Good right hand by Parra, and that sent Vera back. Parra setting that right hand up very well with the jab.
The left hand, came with the right.
Now that was a very bad move by Parra, throwing a right uppercut from way back and jumping in with it. That's the way you get knocked out with a right hand from your opponent. And there he tried to throw the left uppercut from way out, which is what they're talking about, the fact that he just needs to not be so anxious.
Got there with the right hand, though. Just missed with it. Coming to the end of the first round, Jorge Parra, Wilbert Vera. We'll be back.
Here we have Jorge the Pistol Parra on target with that good right hand. That was his best punch probably of the round, and he landed that right repeatedly.
Gary Salinger in the corner of Parra. That's a slip. Wants Parra to throw that right hand right behind the jab. Punch profile through the first round.
Parra landing the vast majority of punches. And we thought Tomaszek was landing the vast majority of punches earlier in the evening, and apparently not everyone agreed on that. I think when you look at that decision, I have to go backwards in our show, but in which Jack Basting won, it's not even so much that he won the fight, it's the margins that he won the fight by that were shocking, at least to me.
Obviously the crowd here at Gardnerville saw it the way we did. So it isn't just two lone voices.
No, in the wilderness.
Yes, right.
Or the cow pasture, as the case may be.
Oh, good right hand. Big right hand by Parra.
And it was set up by the jab, I believe. Parra needs to diversify his attack a little bit. When you saw that right landing, went right back with it, threw it in a very mechanical way. He needs to mix it with the body and the head, some hooks. They want Parra to move and shoot punches from angles, not always straight in front of his opponent. They were yelling for him to do it right there. Vera really likes to be on the inside, Barry. It's really where he does his best work. And so he's having a hard time in this fight because Parra has him on the outside.
A double right hand again, both good punches, but Vera's still there.
Watch his head. Stay low. Stay low.
Body shot by Vera. Vera has taken Parra's best punch. There's no question about that. Now he comes back himself with a left-handed, drives Parra off of him.
Couldn't quite follow up after that left hand. He had Parra moving backward.
Good combination by Parra, who, as you mentioned, does his best work in close. Uppercut and a right hand. Vera taking a lot of punches in this round, but still seems to have his legs.
He has taken what Parra can offer. You mentioned it, still there.
Parra steps back and takes a deep breath. Well, an interesting round, at least to the extent that Vera took some awfully strong punches and didn't seem to step back.
And even did manage to get his own left hook in. They're against the ropes. Vera takes the right hand from George Parra, and that straight right, along with maybe one or two left hooks later in the round, I think had Vera stunned.
Okay, if he goes, he goes. Pick your shots. Pace yourself a little bit. Busy with the jab. Combination.
That's Gary Sullinger, who we've been talking about, with his charge, George Parra. Nine children in the Parra family.
And I wonder if there are any lawyers in the family.
Paralegals, I get it, yeah.
I should be really arrested tonight.
4 people in America are laughing at that.
Yeah, well,
unfortunately, I'm one of them.
Yeah, that leaves us only 3 audience members. You saw the numbers. Parra doing a much better job and landing more accurately. And power punches as well.
On your card, the first 2 to Parra.
Yeah, he really did dominate. I mean, he just controlled both those rounds. And had Vera on the retreat most of the time.
See, one person on any other night that would be laughing at your jokes, of course, is George Parra, because his favorite television show is ESPN Boxing. It's a tribute to his good taste.
Discerning TV viewer, of course, he can't watch tonight, but he can watch the replay.
That's right.
Parra lunges sometimes with his right hand and his hook, and that is probably the one thing I know that one of the things they're trying to work on in this 22-year-old to get him not to do that. There's a good straight right hand.
Another right hand.
survived. You know what? Vera is a wily veteran. He has got some moves in there. He cut off those ropes and turned things around on Parra, and that was an excellent move by him.
Vera's another one of those guys that looks as though he has some talent, but his talent has just never been guided.
He's a 29-year-old with a decent record, 12-4-1, but you can tell, as you say, that he's never probably had a position where he's been put in all the right fights and gotten himself to a position where he could be considered a top prospect. Body work on the inside by Wilbert Vera.
Left hand by Parra, and the right hand comes right behind it. And that causes Vera to cover up on the ropes.
Well, they wanted more work for George Parra. Solinger told us that he's had early knockouts in his last few fights, and they wanted more work, and they were hoping Vera would give it to him. He's done that.
Absolutely. And I'm sure Parra looks up and sees Vera still in front of him and says, wait a minute, some of these other guys weren't there under these circumstances. We'll be back.
It wasn't just the right hand that Parra used against Vera in the last round. It was a good left hook also. It stunned him. By Parra, and he stays right there, but once again Vera gets off the ropes neatly. See what, George Parra in his boxing career, however long it goes, is not going to face too many guys that are tougher, can take a punch, or are more wily than Wilbert Vera.
Parra's hero, according to his bio, is Hector Camacho, and he actually does bear a bit of a resemblance to Camacho.
Come on, let's go.
Punches in the third round. Vera a little bit more effective with his punches, but he threw 30 fewer.
Close round, and if you count such things, probably harder punches landed.
Not a chance in the world that a judge would give that round to Vera.
No, very unlikely.
Good example there, where the numbers really do tell the story of the round, and yet if you just kind of looked at the round, you have to think it would go the way of Parra.
Yeah, that's why it's surprising sometimes when you do see the numbers like that.
Showing shutout.
In fact, I did give the round to Parra. Now he has got Vera hurt again, or presumably stunned or hurt.
Now, I'm not questioning that Parra won that round, but it's just a case of the numbers showing that it was a closer round than it appeared to the eye.
And yeah, and you would think that he won it by more.
Again, a three-punch combination by Parra, who just has the fight all his own way now, but his man is still in front of him.
He's had early knockouts in his last few fights. Let's see, as this fight progressed, Vera has been 8 rounds before, so this 6th rounder should present no huge problem for him.
By Vera.
Put your hands in there.
Oh, a right hand, and down goes Vera.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
And he's still in some trouble.
Give me that hand. All right.
And now let's see if Parra jumps on him. His legs are still gone. Now he gets out.
Well, and there's what they don't want from George Parra, getting so wild. You would expect it to have been a right to put Vera down, and it was just that.
And Vera appears to be okay now, but that was a huge right hand.
He'd been rocked with several rights before, so this one finally at least getting the job done and putting him down, though not keeping him down.
No, está bien, tírele, sí. Ahí vamos la pelea. Usted nomás se va a tener peinado. No tiene que tirarle, ahora sí que tiene que brillar. Ese no es el peinado.
From 2 different angles. First, you will see there's the right hand. Pretty good straight right hand by Parra. Not perfectly straight, but he delivered it with good leverage. And there is your basic Sports Illustrated cover shot.
It sure is.
As he hits him with an
Sweat
overhand right.
flying. And he wound up with that right hand.
Have him stand up. Let's get his trunks. Stand up. Stand up. Let's go, Art.
So we come to the 5th round. The fight has been owned by Jorge Parra. I'm sure will have a great deal of respect for this man who has taken his best shot and is still there. It's like a backhanded compliment.
Yeah, and he has done a few good things offensively, Vera has, but just not enough to sustain over any round to win it.
This, of course, the 17th annual Cow Pasture Festival. We're watching super featherweights now going 6 rounds. Jorge Parra
2 hands free, come on.
getting it on with Wilbert Vera, and the fight has been pretty much owned by Parra. We've already had our championship. That was for the USVA middleweight title, and Reggie Johnson was a winner in that one over Greg Dixon with a 2nd round knockout. Capacity crowd on hand here in Gardnerville, Nevada. Great crowd and always a lot of fun to come here.
Very pleasant people, and as you said, a very country fair kind of atmosphere.
It really is.
And the weather now is gorgeous.
Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, it started out about 85. Now the sun dropping a little bit. Temperatures popping in the 70s. Very pleasant.
So Parra in territory that Gary Soldiers has said. He told us that he wanted him to be in this territory. They wanted to see how he would react and get a little more work.
Vera got there with the right hand, but Vera didn't have much left, I don't believe, in his punches.
You know, Vera does go to the body quite well, though. He just landed a good left hook downstairs, and he has done a good job of that.
Another right hand by Vera. That was a counter-punching right hand. And another good right hand, a left behind it.
And you made the point earlier, and it's true. Parra is looking at Wilbert Vera, and he's thinking, now, everybody I hit with the shots before has gone. And Wilbert Vera is not, so you have to go dig deep and keep throwing those combinations. And you know you're going to make it happen. I hope you will.
Well, it could be a cumulative effect. Now there, Vera got there with a left hand, but Parra comes right back with a combination of his own.
There's the difference between now and earlier in the fight. That uppercut from way back by Parra was being slipped by Wilbert Vera earlier. Now he's getting hit with that shot because he's moving less. And he's standing straighter up. He's more tired.
And another combination for Parra. And again, it's cumulative more than anything else here. It's a 6-round fight. We're coming to the end of round number 5. Vera and Parra. We'll be back.
America's. I know a lot of conservatives that have never gone as well with their right as this guy. Jorge Parra landing the right hand extremely well against Wilbert Vera. It's the punch that knocked Vera down in the 4th, and there in the 5th you saw it again.
So there's the face of an apparent winner who has 3 more minutes of boxing to go, and I'm sure he would dearly like to get this man out of here just to keep things consistent for him. A bit of blood from the nose of Jorge Parra. It's not going to have any effect on the fight. The numbers through the first 5 rounds pretty much indicative of how the fight has been. I would say Parra has appeared to be twice as good as Vera, and that's what the numbers say.
Yeah, big punches mixed in there, plus the knockdown, which would make that 4th round a 2-point round. So this time I feel more confident in saying that a knockout is necessary for Wilbert Vera.
Yeah. So we'd be 1 out of 2 for the night. This is a surprise.
No, Parra really dominating, and as I mentioned, the 2-point round in the 4th, stretching out the margin a bit. Good right hand again by Parra. Well, they have to be pretty pretty happy with what Parra has done here because he's pretty much stayed in discipline mode and has thrown very nice combinations against a man who is not going anywhere. He was down once, but certainly wasn't going to stay there.
He's done a little bit of counter-punching, too. He's sort of shown that he's capable of doing a lot of different things.
Prevent defense time for George Parra, just making sure that nothing happens that would be untoward here. A cut with some really big shots. Instead, he's landing his own counter right here.
Blood from both nostrils now, Parra, and I'm sure that probably impedes your breathing a little bit. As you said, he's going to play it safe.
When Parra switches to the southpaw briefly, he's pretty effective. Doesn't stay there, and there he does it. Well, now he's back to righty, but it'd be interesting to see him. You really use that stance.
So this one is just about in the books, and it will be in the books on the plus side for George Parra of Napa, California. And Wilbert Vera will have only a puffy face and a loss to remember this one.
10 seconds, George. 10 seconds. Finish hard. Finish hard.
So it's over. And a game competitor. I hate to use that term because it means he was outclassed, but for this man, he will run his record, I feel pretty confident in saying, to 11-0.
You got it. Come on, we gotta come on outside.
And in doing so, I think George Parra also showed why they feel he has promise as a fighter. Good combination work, power, even though Vera did stay up. He hit him with some good shots, did knock him down in the fourth. So an indication that this might be a young man that we'll get to see again and will enjoy.
Another good prospect in a very good division. Let's get to Michael Buffer, and we will make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's the official scoring. John McSweeney scores about 60-53. Lillian Running Wolf has it 57-56. And Doug Tucker scores it 60-53 for the winner by unanimous decision, George Parra.
57-56, I heard that right, didn't I?
I don't know. It's weird.
Well, it's hot, and the heat does funny things to you. We'll be back.